Jake kept his expression as blank as he could, fighting down the urge to scowl at her. You didn't love her any more than she loved you, he insisted to himself. She was using you, yeah, but you were using her too. Still, he seethed inwardly. Amy looked slim and energetic, her honey blonde hair touching her bare shoulders. That gown must have cost a fortune, Jake thought. What the hell, Tomlinson can afford it. He can afford anything he wants. Up at the altar, Senator B. Franklin Tomlinson looked resplendent in morning coat and striped trousers, flanked by 3 similarly clad family friends, his patented, dazzling smile aimed at his approaching bride. Tomlinson was not quite as tall as his father, but like the old man, he was trim and lean as a saber blade. A brand-new senator, he was determined to make a mark for himself. He was already thinking about the White House, Jake knew. The cathedral was jammed with people. Friends of the Tomlinson family, relatives, hangers-on, and photographers. Plenty of photographers. Flashbulbs popped like an artillery barrage as Amy proceeded to the altar. The music ended, and Amy and Tomlinson knelt at the altar for the beginning of the wedding mass. Jake let his attention drift to the architecture of the sumptuous cathedral. He'd never seen so many different shades of marble, green, pink, red as dark as blood. Pillars, altar rail, vaulted ceiling, huge frescoes of saints and martyrs. The crucifix above the altar was almost 2 stories tall. Impressive, he thought. The main altar glittered with gold and silver. So did the smaller altars tucked into the apses that lined both sides of the huge church. He listened to the matrimonial mass with only half an ear, but a line that the bishop spoke to the kneeling couple caught his attention. Something about only love can make marriage endurable. Love. Big word, Jake thought. Does Amy really love him? She said she does. She told me while we were in bed together. True love for sure. The reception was held in the ballroom of the old Hilton Hotel, just a few hundred close friends and political associates. Jake decided to take a glass of champagne, wish the newlyweds a lifetime of happiness, and then get back to his desk in the Hart Senate office building. He had plenty of work to do. There was a mob swarming each of the bars that had been set up in the corners of the ballroom, but a pert waitress smiled through the crowd, carrying a tray of plastic champagne flutes. Jake took one from her and started shouldering his way toward the happy couple. "Jake, hey!" Turning at the sound of his name, Jake saw Bob Rogers grinning at him. "Bob," he said, genuinely pleased. "I didn't expect to see you here." Rogers was the head of the MHD power generator program at the university back home in Montana. He looked distinctly out of place among this Washington crowd in his western-cut tan jacket and bolo neckpiece. A working physicist in the midst of politicians and appointees. Rogers was nearly 10 years older than Jake. He had the seamed, leathery face of an outdoorsman, crinkly, pale blue eyes, and wispy, sandy hair. "I got an invitation from the senator," Rogers explained, smiling boyishly, "and I wanted to touch base with you anyway, so here I am." "Good to see you," Jake said, really meaning it. "Keeping busy?" "You don't know the half of it," Jake replied fervently. "I'm just the science advisor to a junior senator, but everybody from fracking experts to astronauts wants to sell me his favorite scheme. Stem cell researchers, fundamentalists who are against stem cell research, oil men, environmentalists, biofuels people, NIH, NSF. I must be the most popular guy in town." "So how's your social life?" With a shrug, Jake said, "Pretty close to zero. Too much to do at the office. Too many hustlers. You have no idea how many people have barged in on me pushing their favorite schemes." "You won't forget about MHD, will you?" Rogers smiled as he asked, but Jake could see real concern in his eyes. "Hell no. MHD is going to be part of our energy plan, an important part." "Noisy, isn't it?" Rogers said, looking around at the crowd uneasily. "Too many people," said Jake. "All talking at once. Nobody's listening." Jake laughed. "Come on, let's congratulate the newlyweds and then get the hell out of here."